Hi everyone, it's Kristi. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry I didn't make it for Multiple Monday yesterday. It was my son's birthday and I bumbled one thing after the other, and by the time I was able to make a video it was late. So yeah, so we're here today to do two or more. I have gone ahead and prepped these. I'm not going to do them all on camera. I've got there again 3 Christmas ones and 3 of the floral ones that I've prepped some of the tags, but not all of the. I haven't done the Christmas tags. But I went ahead and bound this one with excuse me, I just had some smokehouse almonds, and I should have known better than to do that before making a video. Excuse me. Let's see if I can make it through. Anyway, I use seam binding to do this one, and this is a Japanese stab binding. This is the 4-hole method. Let's see if I can get that around there. We don't want that to come off. So it's a little different when you use string than if you use the binding, but I think it turned out cool, so I might need to tighten it a little bit more on the next one so we don't have that problem. But it's basically the same method. And then I've got a tag here in the top of the front and back cover that fits nicely in there. And then the rest is just the papers. I've put notebook paper, music paper, parchment paper, some ledger paper, graph paper, some paisley coloring page paper. I've got some tan paper that I bought a bunch of that I'm trying to use up, and then yeah, repeat. So I don't remember how many pages I said were in there. I should probably have watched my last video, but I want to say when you get this, okay, I don't want to press these back, but normally when you get one of these, you know, you're going to fold it right along the edge there, about a ½ inch in, but I don't really want to fold these back because then the cover sticks up. But let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, 20 pages that I've put in this one, and I think that's a nice little notebook size. Now, the difference that I have done here on this one and the way that you normally see it done with embroidery floss or wax linen thread or something of that kind of thickness. I've even seen like the burlap strings, things like that. You know, they'll start in the middle and then they'll finish in the middle, and they'll hide the knot inside the book somewhere. But the book that I was going with as my inspiration, which was I have dissected and played with, and you can see my little test run of things. It had a string knotted at the top, and it was inside the book for a bookmark. And so I wanted to do that. It was knotted at the top, and then it had about 6 inches, was knotted again, and that was inside the book for a bookmark. Well, with the seam binding, it's a little thicker, so I didn't want to tie that knot. So what I did was I tied the knot at the top, and then I just took that and put it on 2 different pages to use. So you have 2 bookmarks, and then I just trimmed it off on the bottom there like that. So I thought that turned out quite nice. I really like the way that turned out. Excuse me. So let's try and see if we can repeat this. I'm using my cinch binder hole puncher for this, not the binder but the puncher, only because I have it, but you can easily just measure out evenly spaced holes. I think I did these, let's see, I did these holes, ended up being about a 1/2 inch in if you're going with the center of the hole, and the first hole is on 1 inch, looks like 2.5, 4, 5.5 are where the holes are. Okay, hopefully you can see that I've got this right here. So 1 inch, 2.5, 4, and 5.5 are where the 4 holes are. But you don't have to have them spaced. You can have more holes if you like. It's up to you. I probably wouldn't go with less, but yeah, I really like the way this looks and turns out. And then you could do it with any color thread. Now I've already cut my thread ribbon, so I'm just going to use what I've got right here. And I think, let's see, this measures 1 yard. Okay, so 1 yard of ribbon. And I think we discussed this in the last video, but I'm going to go ahead and remind you. This is a piece of cardstock. This collection is called Old World Christmas, I believe, from Hobby Lobby. And this measures 10 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. No, 10 by 7. That's what it is, 10 by 7. And I scored at 5 and then a 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then from the inside, now if it's double-sided, you know, that's fine, but pick the side that you want for the outside. On the inside, you remove this piece here, okay? And then I'm going to glue this down, and that will give me the pocket. And you're going to repeat that for the front and back cover. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to glue the side because it's going to be in the binding, so you don't need to do that. So we're just going to put some glue here. And then I'm going to close this like such. I don't know why I say like such. I don't know where that came from. I apologize if it bugs anybody. It bugs me. I don't know why I say that. It's so funny we don't know where the slang is that we get. We don't know where it comes from. Okay. I remember my dad used to say, like so. Okay. All right, let's see. So we want to repeat with this one. I got a little bit over the edge there. I don't want that, so I'm going to take that off and attach that down. Okay, I love this one with all the Santas on it. So let us, now I have already kind of sorted these the way I want them to go. I've got, like I said, I've got lined paper, parchment paper, music paper, graph paper, tan paper, and you know, it doesn't matter what you use in it. It could all be lined paper if you want, but the paper is going to, well, I guess I should say, the finished size of these covers after you fold that piece in is going to be 6.5 by 5. So you want your paper 6.5 by 5. So I'm going to bring my cinch in. Put the glue cap on, and the way I have this set up for my size book, the 6.5 inch, okay, I have my, if you have a cinch, this will matter. If you're going to measure out, it doesn't matter. But this is just to get the punches the way I have them. My ruler is all the way in, okay, you know, this slides out, my ruler's all the way in. I have pulled the peg, let's make sure, on 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, and 12. So the only ones that we are punching, the ones that are pushed in, are 2, 5, 8, 11. That's what we're punching. So the way I do this, I'm just going to break this down into maybe 3 groups. And I have the top on the right, and I line it with the outside. Okay, so let me show you what I mean. so that this is mostly straight on this edge, because this is going to be bound and it doesn't really matter if that's perfectly even. Now, if you've cut your papers perfectly, it doesn't really matter, but that's just how I do. I line it like this, and then I put it up against this edge, put it as far as it goes, and punch. Okay, and there I've got my 4 holes. Now that's the front part. Take the next hunk and punch, and take the last hunk and punch. I want to make sure that I'm going all the way in. Sometimes there'll be one of these pegs that are kind of not where they're supposed to be, so there we go. All right, and then I want to do the exact same thing with the covers. So I want to make sure the open end is toward the puncher, and I just stacked them on top of each other. This says it'll do 20 pages, 20 sheets of lightweight paper, so I'm thinking 20 pound paper, but because mine's mixed measures, I could do about half. Some of the papers are thicker. That parchment's really thick, but I can do the 2 covers together. That's really easy, and there we go with that. All right, so I'm going to put that away, and yeah, so let's put this together. So I'm just going to line up my papers. You can see the holes are not perfect, but it's not going to matter. I'm going to choose which one of these I want for the cover. It doesn't really matter because these are both the same. And there we go. Now I'm going to put a paper clip on there just to kind of keep it together while we're sewing it. And I am going to use a needle. Now I have these needles. I got these 5 tapestry needles by Sewology. This is Hobby Lobby, and these are what they call dull needles, I think, but it says 5 tapestry needles. But they're blunt on the end, so I don't know if you can see that or not. They're not as sharp and they are pointed. You could hurt yourself with it, but it's not as sharp as like a darning needle. Okay, so I used that, and all I did was take one of the edges that was tapered and put that in that way. You could probably do it without the needle. I'm just putting about 6 inches through. Now, here's the key to getting the bookmarks. You need to leave a little bit at the end. So I want to leave, I think if I remember correctly, I went diagonal and I left about 3 inches off of this end. And then I'm going to use my little washi tape, and I'm going to carefully put this down here. Actually, I'm going to put it on my jeans first, so that it gets a little less tacky, and it'll be tacky enough to hold that ribbon down temporarily, but it won't be so tacky that it'll tear the paper. All right, so I pick up my bunch, and I'm going to start right on the top here and go through that hole. Now, I don't want to pull too tight because that will come right out of that tape if I'm not careful. But I'm going to go around, and I'm not worried about if this is tangled or not. I'm going to go around, and I'm not going to do the top. I'm only doing the side, and I'm going back through on the side. Sorry, I'll try to stay in frame, okay? And then I am on the bottom, so I'm going to come up here. This is the weave part. And I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to come back up here. Oops. And I'm going to wrap around and come back through that hole. Okay. Then I'm going to wrap around the bottom and come back through that hole without going through the ribbon. You don't want to go back through. If you have string or whatever you're using, don't go back through it. The holes are big, so it's not holding anything. It just, you do want to pull it, you know, somewhat tight so that it stays. Now, I probably want to pull that a little bit tighter, but I can tighten it up also when I get to the end. But I'm around the bottom, And I want to come back up through that hole, but I don't want to go through the ribbon. I want to go just through the hole. Okay, and now I've got that corner done, and I want to go back through here. And if the ribbon's in my way, I'm just going to push it out of the way and go back through. And then I'm going to go around and back through. And there again, not going through the ribbon or the string or whatever you're using for the binding. Okay, now if you look on the back side, we're going to have to come back up through this hole. We don't want to go through it, and this needle will go through it, so I kind of want to push that little bit out of the way. Yeah, see, it went right through the ribbon, so I got to pull that out of the way. Because I'm trying to show you guys, I can't see it as well. Need some trifocals. Okay, or a magnifying glass would help. Okay, then I'm going to just pull that a little bit tight. Okay, I'm going to go around again because I want to have that binding, and I want to come up where there's no ribbon. Easier said than done. Push it out of the way. Might be easier if I flip it over. Let's see. I didn't have this much trouble when I wasn't filming it. Alright, so let's push that ribbon down. And there we go. Now I can get a clear shot. Okay, and now we're back to the top, but we want to go through this one, not through the ribbon, just through the hole. Move that ribbon out of the way. Okay, and we come out on the other side. Now you can take your needle off, and we can carefully take this washi tape off. And hopefully you've come out almost the same. Look at that, that's pretty darn good. Okay, so now what I want to do is tie a knot up here at the top. And let's see, I'm going to do over. I tried to do an overhand knot. If you can do an overhand knot, good. I can't, okay? And now I'm going to come back the other way and do, so it's a square knot. Do over one and under one, and you get a square knot. Okay, so before I tighten that, I want to make sure everything on here is nice and tight, which it appears to be. Go back and double check all of this ribbon. This could be a little tighter. I don't want to pull too tight because, you know, of the, the holes. I don't want to tear anything. So, all right, so I've got this tight here and this tight here. Okay, and there we go with our binding. Now it's all bound, but I want to keep this as a bookmark, so I'm just going to take a couple pages in and I'm going to pull that down like that, straight down, and I'll do the same thing with this other one, but a couple pages in from the back. Okay, like that. All right, so there we go. We have our binding, and then all we have to do here is trim off the bottom like this and like that. So there you go. And then I need to make some tags. So let's see, what have I got? Okay, so I have cut this one to 3 3/4 by 6 and rounded the corners. It's kind of a journal card, not much of a tag. I have all these cut-offs, and I don't want to use the one that matches. So I'm going to use the other two that, let's see, we have this one and this one. That's what I'm going to use for tags. So, but I will eventually make tags out of all of them. So there's 2, because these will go in the other book. And then here we go. All right, so those are the pieces I'm going to use. Recycling my scraps. Let me get my cutter out. Oh my gosh, you guys. So yesterday was my son's birthday, like I said. I'm going to cut these 3 1/2 by 6. And he wanted to go to Walmart and get some sweatpants. So I took him to Walmart to get sweatpants. And I thought, you know what? I love the Walmart chicken tenders. And we weren't planning anything for lunch. So I went to the deli and got that. Got a few other things, and we left. And I said, hey, so you want to go to Dutch Bros and get your free coffee? And he's like, yeah. So we go to Dutch Bros. And while I'm in line at Dutch Bros, I'm thinking, wow, I don't smell the chicken. Where's the chicken? Did you put the chicken in the trunk? And he says, what chicken? The chicken we got at the deli. No, I thought you had it. I thought it was in here. I'm like, no, I don't smell it. So he gets out while we're in line at Dutch Bros, checks the back of the car. No chicken. Guess what? I left it at the checkout. I paid for it, but I left it at the checkout. So I called Walmart, and I have to say, I know everybody complains about Walmart, but I have a pretty good experience for the most part. I mean, there are times when Walmart's Walmart, but I called and I explained to them what happened, and the guy says, come back in, we'll refund you, or you can get it. And I'm thinking, okay, but what if somebody else opened it or did something to it or whatever? So anyway, we left Dutch Bros, we go to Walmart, and I guess I still need to cut the short. I need to cut them the other way. See, guys, I told you I can't talk and do at the same time. Anyway, so we go back to Walmart. I go to customer service. There is not a soul in line. It was amazing. And so, yeah, so I get up there and I tell the girl what happened. Oh, okay, I'll be right back. So she runs. She's gone for about 3 or 4 minutes. She comes back and she goes, okay, do you want a refund or do you want to go back and get it? And I was like, what do you mean? I said, do you have it? And she goes, yeah, I saw it. You left it at the checkout and somebody returned it to the deli. And she goes, I saw it, but we can't let you take it because it's been too long. She said, so, but we can refund you or you can go get more. She said, so if you want to, you can just run to the deli, get it, and then just come back here. So I run to the deli. I get the same thing. It was a pick 3, the 2 pounds of chicken tenders and a pound of mac and cheese. $16 worth of food here, And I feel like I'm taking advantage, but I'm really not. I mean, it's not like I do this all the time. So I'm feeling bad, and I get a little befuddled, I guess. So anyway, I go back to the deli, and the lady packs up the order. I go back to customer service. There's like 15 people in line. And I was like, oh, no, I am not waiting in line again. So I walked right up to the counter, and the lady was so great. She looked over at me. She goes, you got it? And she just threw the notebook over to me and had me sign it. And she goes, have a great day. And I was out of there. And I was like, wow, they didn't have to do that. It was my fault. I'm the one that left the food at the checkout stand. So, but then it just kind of messed up my whole day. My daughters were doing something to surprise my son. So we get home and they're like, you're too early. You need to stay out in the car for a while. And I'm like, okay, how about we go to Walgreens and pick up my medicine? Well, it's not open because they close for lunch between 1:30 and 2. So I said, well, that's okay. We'll just drive slow and then we'll sit there and wait till they open. So I get to Walgreens. My purse is at home because I didn't know when I came and brought in the Walmart stuff that they were going to make us sit in the car my son sit in the car for 5 minutes. So I brought my purse in, went to the bathroom, went back and got in the car and went to Walgreens. Did not take my purse with me. So I had to come all the way back to the house. Thank goodness it's only a mile away. Come all the way back to the house. Then the girls are finished, but I haven't gotten my medicine. So I go back to the Walgreens. It's 2:10. They haven't opened the thing yet. And then this one's a little bit smaller, but I don't think it's going to matter. It's 3.5 instead, but I think it'll be okay. Anyway, I thought, you know what? I'm so tired. I just want to sit down. The whole experience at Walmart, I know it sounds like no big deal, but for some reason, it really frustrated me because I forgot. And then I forgot my purse. So now I'm feeling like an idiot and I can't remember things. So I get there and they're not open. It's like 10 after. And I said, well, you know what? If I got to sit and wait, I'm going to sit and wait in the drive-thru. So I go around to the drive-thru. There's 2 or 3 cars ahead of me. 2:30. Nothing's happening at the Walgreens. They didn't ever open that I can tell. Either that or somebody was doing a COVID test. I can't do all 6 of these at the same time. Someone was doing COVID testing at the window, which, you know, I've done, so I know it takes time. And I was just about to back out and say, forget it, I'll get my medication later. A truck backs up, or a truck pulls in behind me. Well, at 2:30, I think it was about 2:30, he finally gave up and backed up, and so I was able to back out and come home. So needless to say, I haven't picked up my medicine yet, so I guess I better go pick it up. But today, when I was coming home, it wasn't open. So anyway, I came home and I was like, gee whiz, this day is just crazy. I mean, I know people have worse days, but for me, it wasn't working. All right, so let's see. Where do we want to go? Do I want to have it? Yeah, I'll have them the same direction. And the Santa's the same way. And these the same way. So then we'll just punch a hole in the top of these. I mean, you could do whatever you want. I better not do that one that's smaller. I better do it separately. Or put it on top. Let's do that. Because it's about... I was thinking it was about a 1/4 inch smaller, but maybe it's only... Yeah, it's a 1/4 inch smaller. You know what? I'll just do it separate. Too much thinking. All right. Punch. And punch. There we go. All right. So I need this one and this one for this book, right? Because I don't want the Santas in this book. Okay. And then we'll just get some seam binding. This is that the right color? Yeah. This is Como beige. I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be Como or camo, but it's consistent. It's kind of like the camo brown. Okay, so it's kind of a putty color in my opinion, but it works. So we'll just tie this in that, maybe. See what I've done? Telling you that story, I've already messed myself up again. I just felt so stupid. Today was a better day. I went and visited my mom for this morning, took her breakfast, and yeah, so I just got home a little bit. Talked too long. Anyway, what I was saying was I just got home a few minutes ago. I want to get this video up, get this section of books finished, and then I just have a new set of books. I have a request for 5 books, and I'm going to be working on that next for my multiples, and that's for a private order. And yeah, I think I'm going to do some Artie Mays. I haven't done an Artie Mays in a while. I've been working a lot with the scrapbook papers, so I haven't printed out a lot other than my Happiness and Crafting design team projects. And yeah, so I'm gonna do some Artie Mays. I'm not sure which one I want to visit. There's so many good ones. I'm gonna have to look and see if there's new ones that I don't have. And where's the book that I just finished binding? Okay, guys, you're seeing it. I know when I look back, this is not it. This goes in here. Where's the Santa book? Oh, for heaven's sake. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm losing my mind. Okay, it's back here. I see it. I put my cutter on top of it. Okay, so we have this cute little Santa book. Now, you could decorate this up as much as you want. I'm just going to stick these tags in. If you want more decorations on the cover or whatnot, I'm not going to, because I just wanted this for a cute little stocking stuffer kind of notebook. That's what I was going for. So there's one of the Christmas ones. Here's one of the floral, I think it was Floral Collage was the name of this one, both from Hobby Lobby. This was Old World Christmas. So thank you for hanging in there. If you're still listening and watching this video, I appreciate you so much. And next Monday will be our drawing for our 1,800 subscribers. So if you have not done so, go to last week's Multiple Monday video and comment on that video, because that is where I'm going to be doing the giveaway from those comments on that video. Okay, well, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.